All right. What's going on, everybody? So, I want to do a quick little video of some stuff, I say, a few cards, a few singles that I picked up while I was traveling this past week that I thought were very, very much underrated. And I wanted to kind of show them. It'll be a quick video, more or less. Just a catalog, kind of what I paid for them at the time, and not really going to speculate on how much I think that they're going to be worth, but just some stuff that I thought was really underrated that I found at shops and this, that, or the other. So first off, I found these two at a card shop. It'll be the same one that I show another card from here in just a few minutes. So these Snorlax cards, it's from the, let me see, is that Lost Origin? I believe it's Lost Origin. Let me check this out. Is that better or worse? I'll have to put it right there. So it's from the Trainer Gallery of Lost Origin. And obviously it's a Snorlax. One of the most popular Pokemon out there. Definitely top, 20. We'll say 20. And these aren't, I didn't pick these up to just grade them or anything like that, even though, it's got a little widening and stuff right here and there. But it's a Snorlax card. It's pretty much some of the first generation illustration rares. For people who are just not getting into the hobby, illustration rares are an anchor point for a lot of the newer sets. And frankly, these are some of the very first ones, other than a few out of the X and Y era. There were some promos. There may have been like 3/4 art rares in the set. I don't really remember. I didn't get back into it until later on Sun and Moon and stuff like that. But, some of the original illustration rares that kind of kicked the ball onto the field to begin with about these illustration rares being as popular as they are. And it being a Snorlax, I could be mistaken, but I believe the only other illustration rare Snorlax is from the 151 ETB. So I just don't see, for, it says $15, that's what I paid plus tax for both of these, or each. And like I said, I didn't really pick them up to grade them. They're not, mint copies by any means, but if I see something out that I think is just criminally underrated, I'm going to pick it up. I think the room for growth of this card right here, I think it's astronomical. I mean, I think it, looking at this, when it gets some more age on it, I could see it being $50, $60, $70 card. I mean, why not? I think the ETB promo, which in my opinion would be way more mass produced than this one right here. I think it's $22, $23 right now. I can actually, let me look. And there'd be only 2 illustration rare Snorlax, quote unquote. One promo, one from the Brilliant Stars. I'm looking. Okay, so yeah. The non-Pokemon Center version, $25.78 is what the market is right now. And I just think it's a little crazy. And I think the market is wrong on that being just a $15 card. And I know I bought it $15, I believe it was last Friday, so a week ago. It was $15.20 whenever I looked at it on TCG. And today I looked at it and it was like $17 or something like that. So it's already gone up $2. I know it's not a big deal, but I just think that thing is criminally underrated because the art's really beautiful. It's one of the more popular Pokemon. And Lost Origin is a really good set. I think I said Brilliant Stars earlier. I believe that's Lost Origin. If it's Lost Origin or Silver Tempest, I can't remember which one. Which set symbol that is, but I digress. One of the Sword and Shield sets. And so the next thing I picked up at the same shop. Granted, if you look at the price for a PSA 8 of this card, it is, I think it was $48 whenever I looked it up the other day, whenever I was shopping around. And I don't really plan to do anything but keep this. But I love the rainbow pattern of the old school Sun and Moon era. I think there's some of the best looking rainbow cards for sure. But I am a little biased because, like I said, I came back in at the Sun and Moon era, so it holds a little special place in my heart. But for $55, the raw version, now a near mint raw version is, I think it was $70, $71 when I bought it. I bought it at the same time I bought the Snorlaxes, so it was Friday. It's been a week, and I think the raw price of a near mint copy was $72, $73 today. And it graded as a PSA 8 is, near mint. So, near mint card for $15 less than what the market is. I just thought it was a fantastic buy. And I think it's a fantastic hold. Mewtwo, again, one of the more popular Pokemon. And I don't see the card tanking, so I don't think you're ever gonna just lose, the $55 plus the tax that you invested in it or put into it. Plus, I really like Mewtwo. So, $55, old school, 2017. It's almost 10 years old. I think it was a good buy, really good buy. The next thing I picked up at a different shop. Now, I looked at it, and obviously, it's the special illustration rare Eevee from Prismatic Evolutions. I've been ripping packs almost every single day trying to pull the Sunbreon on the channel, and to no avail. But I've pulled the Eevee before, but it was way back whenever Prismatic wasn't as old as it was now. It was not nearly as expensive. But anyway, the PSA 9 version, again, it's the same concept as the Mewtwo right here. Near mint 9 for $140. So in my mind, you would have to buy this card. I don't know if he labeled it at this price at some time ago when the Eevee was a little bit cheaper. But a raw version of this card, when I bought it I think I bought this one Monday. So 4 days ago. It was $179. Now, a PSA 9 it was like $144, $150. So the price wasn't wrong, I don't think. But whenever you can pick up a mint card, and I do say this is mint. I don't know if I'm going to crack it or to regrade it or not. I thought I saw a lot of that's on the case, or not on the case, but in the plastic. You can pick up a mint card for $40 less than market value. Yeah, you take that deal every time, in my opinion. If you're a collector or investor, whatever you do with a hobby, I think you'd be remiss to not. And I checked it today, and it's at $190 even. So, $190 for a raw version. I just don't know why you wouldn't pick that up. If you wanted that card, and I have one ready to be graded right now, then I don't know if it looks good. I don't know if it'll get a 10, but even at a 9, $140 for $180 raw card at the time, I think would be a fantastic buy for anyone that finds it. Now, I've got a couple of other ones, small, really smaller ones, but I have them on binder, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this on the screen. I'm going to try my best to, so I don't want to pull them out again. But let's see what we're working with here. Can you see this? Not too clear. So, does it get clear if we do? There we go. That'll do. That'll do. All right. So what I like to do with my Holds investment binder, because I collect. Obviously, I have a personal collection that I do, and then I just speculate on cards that I think are horribly undervalued. So what I'll do is in my binder, whenever I put something in there, I'll put the date when I got it and the price it was whenever I'll put them in there, which this was today's price, April the 3rd. And a lot of these are from, Brilliant Stars. I think this one is, it's either Brilliant or Astral, and that one's Astral as well. And then this one may be Brilliant. Houndoom is Brilliant, and these three there, ending at Gardevoir, are Astral. And so, again, these were sets of illustration rares before the Snorlax was there. So, like, again, some of the first illustration rares that, I've picked up I actually traded for these. So I was out no money technically. So $2, $3, $3. The most expensive one being the Gardevoir, yeah. At $6. And Gardevoir, it's a very popular Pokemon. Astral Radiance, way out of print, never going to be printed again. Whatever stock is printed, that's going to be it. And so I just think some of these illustration rares are criminally underrated and criminally underpriced. And by underpriced, I mean, if you could pick them up for $2, $3, I think they could be, $10, $15 a card for the least popular Pokemon, which Alcremie, Houndoom is pretty popular. Mightyena, Bronzong, not really. Roserade, not really. But the Gardevoir for $6, well, I don't see a reason why it couldn't be, $25, $30 card. And buying in at this price, I'm going to back this out since you guys have already seen it. Buying in at a $2, $3 valuation, or $6 in the case of the Gardevoir, I just think that's a great way to fill out your collection, fill in your binders for really, really cheap. And if you're planning on keeping it for a little while, stuff that matures really well. So that was pretty much it. And again, like, even if they're slabbed up, PSA 8s, PSA 9s, even a PSA 7, I think that's still considered a near mint. If you find it for 10 to 15% cheaper than a raw near mint card, you're saving money and you're collecting the card that you want. Now, if you're trying to grade, obviously it's not going to, it doesn't fit into the way that you like to collect. But I think that's a missing aspect that some, probably not all people, kind of miss, of finding slabs of near mint cards for way cheaper than what they are, and then picking up little gems along the way like these Snorlaxes. But anyway, appreciate your time.